This is nothing new. Just give me a little bit. Once again, got disconnected. This game is just... yeah. I don't know what to say. I simply don't. Not sure what's going on. It usually wouldn't take this long, so, just trying to see what's up. Oh, you guys can hear my stream. I might have to restart my game here, guys, so, I might have to... yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. Or maybe pressing the Xbox button will do the trick? Nope. Okay, well, this is worse than I thought, so I'm gonna have to restart my game, and, hopefully it'll load. And, we'll go from there. So, bit of a delay, but we'll be back. Alright, let's get this going, please.
Have an invite.
You're gonna have to give me a second. I've been having quite a lot of difficulties.
Yeah, give me a second, actually.
Here, I got you. There we go.
Oh.
I haven't been able to, you know, get things going. Because, yes, so we'll move.
Wow, small grid. What's going? Oh boy.
Okay, there we go. It finally loaded. So it took long enough. So, anyways, moving on from that, welcome along, everybody, to the Tier 4 Championship. And it is round 10 for the Japanese Grand Prix. 9 rounds have already passed. 3 to go. And where else to start than at Suzuka? Suzuka, then, you got 18 corners that make up a very, very historic track. 10 to the right and 8 to the left, with only one DRS zone on the main straight. We've got many many action-packed moments, such as turns 1 and 2, where Senna and Prost obviously had their title-deciding collision. If anybody can remember that, I hope you would. And you've also got Spoon Curve, in which Max Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel had a bit of a coming together in 2018, and Sebastian Vettel having to spin once again, as he kind of did for the second half of the season, but moving on from that. And then, of course, you got the infamous 130R, which is where Quick Tongue is making his way towards, in which Fernando Alonso went round the outside on Michael Schumacher back in either 2005 or 2006. It's a bit of a bold one, but he made it work, and I think he went on to take the win. I'll have to double check on that. But it's Suzuka. It is a very technical track, but it can still provide a ton of action. My host. Wow, this is
English.
Your host here is Vinny. I don't have the English right now. Anyways, oh boy. Your host here is Minico, and alongside me is Deemer. Now, I know you've been waiting for it. I know you like this track. So, yeah, there is a certain reason why.
So,
you could say it yourself.
It's contradictory. Yeah, that word. Japan, I've never really liked Japan, to begin with. Obviously you were there last season. For those who don't know, I did come out on top of that race last season. It was quite a chaotic race, if I remember correctly. We had Bald Guy, Slayer, and I believe it was Johan Laura going 3 wide into the front straight. And obviously Slayer came out worse, DNFing Johan Laura with orange underbody, and Bald Guy, I believe, had damage from that as well. But the technical part of this track is slow and steady, goes through turns 1 and 2 on the mediums. You want some good downforce through the first sector, which slow and steady is working his way through at the moment through the S's. You want to be careful not to touch the curbs, which he does very well up through, I believe it is Dunlop. Very tricky to lose the rear of the car on the uphill left-hander there. And then you come into these corners, which I absolutely hate. You get them right, then it feels good, then you get them wrong, and then you're just like, why did that feel terrible? So, this track is really about downforce.
Yeah, especially through Sector 1, as you said, due to the fact that it's just a twisty part of the circuit, as he's retired in the pits. That's an interesting thing there. So he will not put in a lap time. That's pretty surprising if I'm being honest. But yeah, this track, it's very technical, and what you said, those curbs, they have been proven to be very, very deadly around this track in comparison to last game. Well, this game, you get within like a millimeter and you're basically gone.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how that affects the race going on. But right now, they're focused on qualifying, trying to get the best lap time on the board, in which slow and steady, purple sector 1, purple sector 2. We'll have to see if that's true or not, as he's coming around the final corner, a very, very tricky corner. He comes across the line. Well, it was good enough for P3 on the mediums with a 131.2, right behind his teammate. So decent lap time there from the Alfa Romeo. And, hold on, before we go on any further, there's a bit of a story building up here. Obviously, well, if we go over to the Drivers' Championship, first off, James B, after getting P2 at Monza, managed to grab the Drivers' Championship lead by just 5 points ahead of 2R Mixer. By the way, Mixer, he isn't here. One underdog, however, in the other Aston Martin, is here. And he's sitting third with 109 points, just only 7 behind his teammate. And then Titan rounding out the top 4 with 104 points. Those are really the main title contenders. And with that, we got some more eliminations after last week. Obviously, 78 points are available on the board, so anybody with 79 or outside of 79 points, they are out of the championship. So that is from 9th all the way down. So from Urban Growth up to James B, they are all mathematically within Drivers' Championship contention. But the big thing here is that the Constructors' Championship can be decided tonight. Right now, Aston Martin currently lead at 84 points ahead of McLaren. If one underdog were to finish ahead of James B, let's say one underdog gets the win, and James B gets second, that will be the Constructors' Championship. for Aston Martin. So that is one thing to watch out for. And they're both one-handed. So that is that makes it even more interesting.
Yeah, exactly. I was on board with Urban Growth as they were doing all of that. He went into Spoon, the first part of it, where Vettel and Verstappen collided and just lost the rear of the car on exit there, and then collected it to go provisional P1. As Sprightly's going to come across the line to go 6th fastest. I believe James B is on the lap right now, going through turn 2 on the mediums.
Yes, he is obviously the championship leader as of right now. They're taking P2 and getting really on the curb there. Kind of unsettled his motion a little bit. Managed to keep it all together though. But he'll most likely go again. Obviously, he definitely has the battery to do so. And from what I know, the drop off on the mediums is not noticeable. So you could do quite a few laps, and you'd still be doing very similar laps. So he can go again if he wants to. But he has to be a little bit careful, though, because Bald Guy's on the back. Oh, wait, no, that's not Bald Guy. That's Sprightly. I just saw a Ferrari. But
if
no,
you
we're
remember, good. If you remember back to last season, Slow and Steady, I believe it's a 28-lap GP, correct?
27, I believe.
Okay. But anyways, Slow and Steady, I think, boxed on, like, lap 2 or 3 for mediums and took them to the end of that race and finished in P3. So
it's quite a bold strategy, especially considering that there was a late race safety car. I could definitely remember that. But
right,
yeah, it was a bit of a bold one, but Slow and Steady made it work. So he could be one to watch out for. His Carbon's crashed.
Oh, he said he was going to crash tonight, so I didn't hold it against him.
Looks like he's crashed at turn 5. So I mean, S section pretty tricky.
Is that turn 5 or is that turn 4?
The first couple of turns is turn 1 and 2 is actually kind of combined. So if we go over to James B, in which he's starting another lap, so obviously you've got turn 1, but then it immediately goes into turn 2 due to the fact that you're turning more. It actually counts as the second corner.
Right, I knew that. And then this is
with
3,
that, turn 3, 4.
Oh, he crashed
off of here,
5.
going into turn 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if he crashed. Jeez. Bald Guy P2, by the way.
Yeah, pretty good lap time from the
Underdog
Ferrari. He's currently lining up in the front row.
Now, sorry to cut you off there. He's coming through. Hey.
Ooh. Bit wide there, but he's managed to keep it all together. Where does he put that Aston Martin? Well, he puts it on the front row on the mediums.
Oh, James B, I just cut back to him, and he was going through the hairpin where Daniel Kvyat crashed in 2016 in qualifying, if anyone remembers that. That was pretty horrific.
Barrel roll.
Don't barrel roll.
That's pretty much exactly what he did.
But yeah, he just went into the hairpin and caught that right-handed curb and just unsettled the rear and had to shift down into first in order to catch the car by the time he hit the hairpin. So it cost him a little bit of time, but I don't think it cost him that much time. Sector 2 split is 16 seconds up, or 17, but that's understandable because he did 149 the first lap. So let's see what he does coming through the final corners now.
One thing's for sure is that no matter what, he's going to qualify within the top 10 due to the unknown, not setting a lap time. But James B comes across the line, only P7 on those mediums. So that's very interesting. He's behind Slow and Steady, who qualified on the moment.
So I'm wondering if that was just a banker.
Maybe. So we'll have to see. If he wants to supplant one underdog as being the highest medium runner, he has to improve by, I think, over a second? Just under a second, like 5 milliseconds from a second. So I'll just say he needs to improve by a second. Oh, he's gone off at Degna. No, not Degna. Dunlop.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dunlop. Losing the rear. Managed to keep it out of the wall, though, so very good car control from him. But that is going to ruin those set of mediums. And if he doesn't get a good lap in, those are going to be the tires he starts on. That's not what he wants.
I'm questioning logic.
You always do. No matter what, you always do.
So, for those who don't know, I'm the Tier 3 coordinator. And I look at my tier. Yeah, but no, just shush. I look at my tier, and one of my guys is like, "What tier are we in again?" Carbon. Classic Carbon. He goes, 3 or 7. I don't know my numbers anymore.
I mean, he asked how many times how many laps he would go down at the end of lap 1. I said 4. Obviously, we'll see if that's gonna be the case. I would assume not, but it was a bit of banter, to put it simply. So who's the next to do their qualifying lap? I believe it might be the Haas of Arabian Killarak. Obviously, there's 2 minutes and, well, just over 2 minutes and 30 seconds left of qualifying as of right now. So people need to get these laps in, though. I think, no. Arabian Killarak isn't using any batteries, so I don't think he's on a lap.
Two are going to be...
It's an Alfa Romeo,
slow
and steady, I believe.
And Books.
Mitch Slow and Steady, he's on the soft compounded tires now, so he set that lap on the mediums. He's now going to try and go for a soft run. He was just under 2/10 up on his lap time. Yellow
James
flag
B
in Sector 1, though. I think that's urban growth getting out of the way. Interesting there, so we'll have to see how that pans out. But Slow and Steady now going through to Spoon, where Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen collided. Luckily, he doesn't have anybody to worry about to collide with, as he's all on his own. And he negotiates it very nicely, making sure not to invalidate on the exit. And now it's just pedal to the metal, flat to the floor. He is just over 4/10 up on his lap time, through to 130R, easily flat there for the Alfa Romeo. And now through the final chicane, going a bit deep there at the first, compromising his second, and then final corner. Where does he put that Alfa Romeo? Puts it up to P4, so decent lap time, but who can get the better of him? Well, Books is going through across the line. Well, he gets ahead of him on the mediums. A purple sector 3 there for the Williams.
James
so very
B
good lap
is
time.
0.6 of a second through the second split. See what he does through the final corners.
Ooh, getting very close to that bollard there.
Well, it's very close.
Nearly invalidating there, getting a snap.
Crashing and goes P5. Oh, he lost time.
Solid lap time. Yeah, he did. Solid lap time, but considering...
I'm confused.
I think he's... Let's see.
He's
I think he backed off on his lap, so he might go again.
Yep. I didn't look
Meanwhile,
at the timing board in the top.
I believe... Yeah, next person to cross the line, looking at it, I think it might be... It's going to be a while, but I think it's going to be Urban Growth. Because he's currently on a lap time, currently on pole position right now with a 130.0, just over 2/10 ahead of one underdog, but he's 4/10 down at the end of Sector 1. It's not a good start for his lap at all, as one underdog is doing a lap. Same with the two Ferraris, Sprightly and then Bald Guy, as qualifying is about to get underway, and Urban Growth is spun. He is spun at the hairpin, and now that is his chance of bettering his qualifying position. Done and dusted. I believe James B is backed off. He has. So now it's just down to the final couple of runners, in which the first person, it's not going to be Slow and Steady. He's coming into the pit. It says it's going to be Quick Tongue in the Alfa Romeo.
So the unknown was actually gone through qualifying, from what I'm reading in the Tier 4 chat. Anyways.
Interesting.
Quick Tongue revving it in 7th into Spoon.
He's shifting that car an awful lot there through Spoon, but if it works for him, it works for him. But we'll see. Where can he? What is this time going through the Sector 2 split? He is just under 2/10 up on his lap time. Purple Sector 2. We'll have to see if that's true or not. Urban Growth's retired, so he's not going to be able to better his lap time, obviously due to that spin. Quick Tongue is going to be the first to come across the line. Where does he put that Alfa Romeo? His teammate's in front of him. He doesn't better his teammate. He lost a bit of time there. But one underdog on the soft compounded tire. Where does he put the Aston Martin? He puts it on the provisional pole with a 129.2. Next person is going to be the Ferrari of Sprightly. Where does he put that? Where does he put that car? He stays P10. But what about a Bald Guy? Bald Guy, he's not bettering his lap time. So he is not going to be able to better his position, but he'll still line up P3. But it's one underdog on pole position for, I believe, if I check, for the first time, actually. This is one underdog's first pole position, and by quite a gap.
Yeah, it's gonna give him a big confidence booster there for going forward into the race.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Obviously, Aston Martin, he's lining up exactly where he needs to be because James B is all the way down in 5th on 4-lap old mediums already. So one underdog, if he stays where he is, Aston Martin will grab the constructors, but obviously it's just qualifying. So we'll have to see how the strategy pans out for the medium runners. But one thing's for sure, he won last week, and now he's gone and grabbed his first ever pole position. One underdog on pole for the Japanese Grand Prix. Ermer Growth, still a solid qualifying from him. He lines up on the front row. Bald Guy, great qualifying from him. He lines up 3rd. Then it's Books and James B, both on those medium compound attire. I'll have to watch out how that pans out. Then you got the 2 Alfa Romeos in 6th and 7th. So instead, again, the bragging rights over Quick Tongue. There's Arabian Cadillac in 8th, Carbon in 9th. Sprightly running out the top 10. And Sprightly will start on those mediums. By the way, the unknown, the only person to not set a lap time, and the only person outside the top 10. But needless to say, we could be in for a very interesting Japanese Grand Prix.
I mean, I hope so. With 11 drivers, there should be a ton of action.
I mean, it's Tier 4.
Yeah,
If there's one thing you should expect when it comes to Tier 4, it's action. And, well, we're here for it. I didn't get a weather report, by the way. Well, here's your weather report just coming from me. Cloudy skies, but doesn't look like there's going to be rain, at least as of right now. We'll have to see how that pans out. Maybe they're surprising me.
Where is the coach? He's not racing tonight. Okay. That makes me sad.
That makes you sad. By the way, I just want to mention a couple of things. We're going to look over at the reliability stats coming into this race. So, James B, he has done every race but one, and he's finished 7 of them. One underdog, he has finished every single race he has started. Actually, there's not many people who can have those types of bragging rights, but one underdog is one of those that can have those bragging rights, and he is on pole. So if he bolts away and does pretty much what he did last week, where he just dominated, well, we could see him take another win. But it's only early days. We'll have to see. Right now, the person with the most pole positions is currently your championship leader, James B. And let's not forget, James B, he only has 1 win. I just want to note that.
I think this is a redemption drive from last season for James B.
Quite possibly. Obviously, he didn't even step on the podium, but he still managed to beat his championship rival. That's for sure, at least by 1 position. So we'll see what he could do. Obviously, being the championship leader by just 5 points. He's gonna have to watch out for one underdog.
Books, what are you doing?
Books is being Books. I don't know.
He's already in the gravel.
Grip. I don't know. I beg to not question it. So, looking over at the tires, obviously. Oh, that's a Mercedes gone. What the? That was Carbon. Jeez.
So
coming out of turn 5, going into turn 6, he just completely went to the left.
So to quote Lewis Hamilton, I believe from 2019 at Monaco, Bono, my tires are dead.
They're also in the gravel, but you know.
Yeah.
Dead and in the gravel, whatever works. Anyways, going back over to the tires, obviously the top 10 have to start on the tire that they qualified on, in which Books, James B, and Sprightly all managed to get into the top 10 with those medium compounded tires. And the unknown, the only man outside the top 10, well, he decided to go on the medium compounded tire, which could honestly pay dividends later on. Because from what I know, the undercut isn't that powerful if you're on similar pace with another guy, but on alternate strategy. So if the medium runners were to do consistent laps, well, definitely do not count them out. But we'll just have to see, obviously, 27 laps, and we don't know what is going to happen here tonight. One underdog on pole, Irma Growth on the front row. Championship leader, James B. in 5th on the medium compounded tire. It's going to be a story that, well, no one can really expect.
Yeah, I'm getting mixed reports on weather updates here, so we're just going to see what happens. I heard it's cloudy, and then it's a warm track, and then someone goes, we're going to get some water. I'm like, okay, I give up.
I mean, piecing it together, maybe we get rain at the end? I don't know. Anyways, lining up on the grid, the unknown, obviously the last person to take up on his grid spot, but it's actually Carbon that's going to be the one to line up last, but we move. Going on. Anyways, we're here for the Japanese Grand Prix. 27 laps, 5 for that lights are on, and the lights out, and away we go. They're held quite decently. One underdog gets a great start. Already, he's clear into turn 1. And it's a huge collision already between Bald Guy and Urban Growth. Already, chaos at the start. Bald Guy, Urban Growth out of this race before they even get to turn 1. That is I don't know what to make of that, but Urban Growth from the front row is already gone. One underdog still stays in the lead. Carbon's out as well. Virtual safety car. What in the world happened in that? We've already got 3 drivers out. Full course safety car now. But, what?
So, you want to grab some popcorn? Because we're probably going to be here for a bit.
I'm baffled. I am baffled. I don't know what to make of that, but yeah, that is definitely hard luck for Bald Guy and Urban Growth. From what I know is that obviously one underdog was clear ahead of these guys. I don't know if Urban Growth saw Bald Guy. Like, I don't think he saw Bald Guy going into turn 1, and then Bald Guy, he was kind of had his nose in, and then his front wing touched his rear tire, and that was a like huge crash, to put it simply. And well, they were already out before they even got to turn 1, so I don't know what to make of this. But safety car's out, and I don't know what's gonna happen here, if I'm being honest.
I'm watching the chat, and I'm not seeing anything about a restart, so.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it either, so.
I mean, even if they did, it'd be cutting it close to tier 3.
Nah, they got an hour and a half. I
mean, race is what, 45 minutes roughly without safety cars?
Yeah, something like that. So, I don't think. Yeah, they might be fine, to be honest. And obviously, Urban Growth and Bald Guy. Definitely not happy with what happened, for sure.
I don't even know what happened. I was watching the mid-pack, and then death.
Yeah.
But what I don't understand,
it was quite a collision, needless to say.
Bald Guy had the outside, right?
Yeah, but like he wasn't alongside. Like his front wing was on Urban Growth's rear tire, from what I know.
You think I'd have to see the replay of it.
You can look back on the stream later on, because I definitely caught it.
Because I didn't really, like I said, I didn't really catch it. All I saw was a Ferrari just jolt left and a Red Bull jolt left.
Yeah, because they obviously collided. They kind of locked together, and yeah.
Bald Guy is not.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Bald Guy possibly makes a decision. 'Cause honestly, if it is a restart, then yeah, like it probably affected quite a few people. Obviously, it affected Bald Guy, Urban Growth, and possibly Carbon. But
well, so Carbon said in the chat he went to avoid an alpha, and then he touched the curb and got screwed 6 ways from Sunday. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of it. Wait a minute. Slow and Steady and James B are into the pits. James B going on to a set of softs. Slow and Steady
Mediums.
Someone steady is going on to a set of mediums here. So, I think someone steady might be doing what he did last season. He knows what he did.
Uh-oh. This could get spicy.
I am interested.
I'm lost for words. Like, I feel bad.
So am I.
I feel bad. You know, Ball Day last season... Okay, I'll call a restart if it's legal.
Okay, so if people decide this, then it will be a restart. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what ball guy, the tier coordinator, makes of it.
Isn't there a rule where if you pass like a certain amount of laps, like lap 8 or whatever, you can't do a lobby or a restart?
Well, it's lap 3. So.
Right, right. I understand that, but
this is, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, because obviously I've never dealt with that. There it is. Okay, so with that, for the obviously you guys don't see the chats that we see, but the lobby's going to restart. So with that, everybody is going to go and migrate to a different lobby, and we'll resume the race on lap 1. Oh, as Carbon's already shut down, so well then. But either way, yeah, lobby has been... did these guys know?
I'm going to assume no.
I am not sure if they know. Maybe if I leave, they'll leave. We'll see. Maybe,
you think
maybe
Smiley would kick it off because he's in the party with Bald Guy?
Quite possibly, yeah. I've left. We'll see if that's the case.
Gainsby's left.
Screw it, let them... What? I guess they're racing now. What? Huh?
Yep.
What? I just left the lobby. What? Hang on a minute. I am genuinely confused. They said there was a restart, and now a restart if it's legal. It is legal. What? I'm confused. Give us a second, guys. I'm genuinely lost. This is already super scuffed. I was like, what? I'm genuinely, I don't know. I genuinely don't know what's going on here.
I'm...
Like we said that it was gonna start, and I guess we're joining back. Okay, well,
Alright,
we need to make this. We need to make this clear. But anyways, thank you. Okay, well. Oy, oy, oy.
Wait for... Where did James be? So we'll see if he comes back and takes control of his car.
He said he was joining back, so we'll have to see.
Unknown's in AI mode.
And now we're being told to restart. I'm genuinely confused.
Migrating host. Okay, so...
Oh, it's because he hasn't left.
Okay.
That's why. Okay, yeah. So that'd be the call. That would be the call. So with that, we're all now gonna... Yeah, we're now all gonna be in a different lobby. What? Okay. Well, okay. We'll just make that abundantly clear. As I cannot join his lobby right now. Can you message... Actually, I think we...
Yeah, hang on, let me
You
go
can obviously
into-
do this.
hang on.
Maybe message them saying lobby restart. Maybe, because I saw ball guy left. They had to see that. Okay.
I went into game chat, so we'll see what that does. Doubt it does
Nope.
anything.
I don't think they can hear game chat or not.
So I will
Because if they're in a party,
individually
just
message them.
okay. Well, holy, holy.
I'm
I
just
am.
messaging them all and going new lobby.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay, so underdog is left. That's good.
Yeah. Hopefully this will do the trick.
Okay, so I just need to message slow and stay.
Yeah. Well, people are now joining the lobby, so I can tell you that much. Like, there's 4 people in here now.
Books has got my message. Okay.
Hopefully we get this done soon. Because I'm...
So okay, so QuickTime is literally the only one racing still. Oh, there it goes.
Okay, so we're getting more people in here, which is good. As long as we get the required 11 that we had, then, yeah. Meanwhile, as I'm waiting, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna grab myself some
Soda.
chips. I already have soda.
Oh, okay.
So, I already beat you to that. I'm gonna grab myself some chips. So, I don't know, entertain, I guess? I don't know what to tell you. Just do whatever, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, so from what I know, Carbon isn't joining the race for some odd reason. But I think with that, we're only going to have 10. Oh boy. Yeah, we have the 10. We're just waiting on Ball Guy to get in his car, and same with Slow and Steady. And for Ball Guy to set the grid. So let's just quickly go over from exactly what I know from qualifying. So one underdog, he grabbed his first pole position. For those that do not know, Irma Growth on the front row alongside him, 8/10 adrift from the Aston Martin. Then we've got Bald Guy lining up in P3, Books in P4 on the medium compounded tire, James B in 5th, the championship leader also on the medium compounded tire. Then I believe it is the two.
Alfa
I
Romeos.
believe it's the two Alfa Romeos with Slow and Steady ahead of Quick Tongue. And then it's a Raymond Killerack in 8th. Carbon, who, when he did qualify, he was 9th, but he is not going to be here. So instead, 9th is going to go over to Sprightly. And the unknown, he will line up in 10th. But everyone in the top 10 has to start on the tire they qualified on. Except for the unknown, because he was technically outside the top 10. So that does not go for him.
So I don't know if I should do this, but I should race with my controller.
We're not doing that.
I know. It'd be kind of cool if it could though, because like you could have like an on track like. Oops, that was my speaker. Round 2.
Alright, with that, okay, so I believe Ball Guy has got the grid, was waiting for the ready up. And there we go, ready up, so we're about to get racing soon. It's just a matter of, everybody readying up, in which only 3 people have done that. Thank you, Urban Growth, for immediately doing that the second I said it. Now, James B, there we go, the timer is going, boys. As James B is saying in the chat, I'm scared. I don't blame you.
Unknown selling Carbon.
Carbon said he was not coming, so I don't think it's going to happen.
What happened?
What do you mean, what happened? Oh.
That's what I mean, what happened?
But Carbon. Points. Yeah, it's if he didn't crash and not... Well, it's either... If he's inside the top 10, he crashed, but it was not the 90% rule, he still wouldn't get the points. Let's not forget that. So he needs to finish 90% of the race, which I don't think he's done that this season, actually. Very unfortunate for Carbon, of course. But, yeah. Actually, no, he has finished a race. That's a lie.
That's a
What race did he finish, though? What race did he finish? I'm actually genuinely curious about this now.
I'm looking for now as you speak.
Yeah.
Great Britain.
Did he?
Yep.
I'm trying to find Great Britain. Oh, yeah, there he is.
It literally went DNF, 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 13, did not start, and did not start.
Oh, yeah, I'm blind. I wasn't looking at that, I was looking
Also, what happened
like,
to
race
stupid
by
Flanders?
race. He's been busy with, like, I think college and stuff. As for the other Alpine of Titan, he's been... What?
James B missed 2 races. It's Great Britain and...
Oh, wait, hold on, Then why does it say 8 on the You know what, never mind. Point is, he might have missed 2 races, but he's the championship leader due to the fact that he has 4 second places. And has only finished off the podium once every time he's raced, so let's put it at that.
Pretty good battle for 6th, though.
Oh yeah, that is true. Obviously, Bald Guy is currently in 6th place as of right now, ahead of entered Caesar. 1 point separates those two. And a couple points back is Urban Growth, in which he's been on a podium streak as of recently. Let's not forget that. So those 3 are in a bit of a tight battle. We'll have to see how that pans out. Obviously, Caesar isn't here, So it's between Bald Guy and Urban Growth. We'll have to see who can come out on top of that. The one thing's for sure, though, is that Urban Growth needs to beat James B comfortably if he wants to stay in championship contention.
Quick Tongue, Bald Guy are both on mediums right now.
Alright, let's look over at that. So yeah, Bald Guy has to start in the softs. Books James B have to be on the mediums. Quick Tongue has to be on the softs. Sprightly and the Unknown on the mediums. Hopefully they change that. If they don't change that, then they either have to pit immediately or... Yeah. So let's look over.
Yeah,
they did not.
A problem.
I'll let them know. Oh, and that's one underdog already off into the gravel. Hold up.
Are you scared the ever-living crap out of me? You're just like, ah!
Well, I just look up. I heard something go into the gravel. I look up and I just see one underdog spinning.
Well, it's just like all peaceful and quiet. The next door is just like a ah! You know what I mean? Like,
that sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Well, okay.
The noise you made. Is it back?
No.
Is it back?
No.
The Wario?
Not yet.
Was that
Not
a
yet.
Wario?
Too soon. Too soon.
Too soon? What do you mean?
It's not
There's never
Dhabi.
a too soon. There's never a too soon.
It's not Abu Dhabi.
We don't have Abu Dhabi.
I'm gonna bring it back at the season finale. Okay, I'm gonna try my best.
Have fun with that.
I don't even know how I did it though, dude. It's like.
We do not question. We just go.
Honestly, I didn't even like Catcher and I. Neither one of us knew that I made the noise, and then you sent me the message like 3 days later. Can you explain what this is? I'm like, no.
You didn't need to, because I can explain it myself. It was a Wario.
Yeah, but we didn't distinguish that it was Wario until that. Yeah.
Until I mentioned it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, moving on from that. So everyone's now lining up on the grid. Obviously, Urban Growth is going to be the first one to line up, but he's not on pole position. Obviously, that goes to one underdog, but since he spun, he's not. Since he spun, he's obviously not at the front of the queue, but he'll just simply ghost through everybody. By the way, I just can't wait. Next game, manual, like, lining up on the starting grid. I can't wait for that. But moving on from that, it's the Japanese Grand Prix. We may have had a restart, but we can still have something entertaining. 5 red lights are on. It's lights out, and away we go. Once again, a very good start from one underdog. He is already way ahead of Urban Growth and clear into turn 1. Urban Growth and Bald Guy slot in directly behind the top 3, managing to keep it clean. Actually, a lot of people are just keeping it very calm as of right now, assuming they know from the start of that race at the start. But so far, everyone keeping it clean. Not really anybody passing, by the way. I just want to mention that. So everybody managing to hold position at the end of Sector 1. One underdog leads from Urban Growth and Bald Guy. That is Books, James B, Slow and Steady, Quick Tongue, Arabic Killer, Sprightly, and the Unknown. That was your qualifying, and they have managed to stay the same as of right now. Watch out for Books and James B, though, because they are on those mediums. Meanwhile, James B going a little bit wide there at the hairpin, actually. But he doesn't spin or anything, so all good there. But back over at the front, one underdog is nearly already pulling a second from Urban Growth behind.
I'm just continuously going through. Oh, who's that wide? Oh, that was Arabian Killer. I was just going through every single driver, making sure they were racing cleanly because I don't want to repeat what happened last race.
Well, they're all separated quite evenly, around like 6/10, 7/10, 8/10 between each of them. Obviously, Bald Guy being the closest driver to another car. But one underdog leads the first lap by just under a second from Urban Growth. That is Bald Guy. Further back, though.
Quick Tongue, quick, if I can back. Wrong camera. There we go.
Looks like Quick Tongue has has less downforce on that car, and he's able to get ahead just about, cutting off Arabian Killer-Rack, and he manages to hold P7 as it stands. Arabian Killer-Rack will have to fight again to try and grab that P7, but he'll stay P8 for the time being. But it's a very tame start, to put it simply.
Yeah, Quick Tongue was using that button to help pass him, or help pass Arabian Killer down the first straight again. So, Urban Growth's going a little bit wide out of the second Digna. It's going to hurt his chances trying to get away from Bald Guy.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that pans out. Obviously, when he gets that DRS, he's going to be very much under pressure from Bald Guy and from Books behind as well. Those three are not separated by much. Just over a second covers those three. And James B falling a little bit back between these guys, so he doesn't exactly have the pace on the mediums as it stands. We'll see if he could possibly catch up, but it's not entirely been the best of the start of this race for James B, as Slow and Steady is all over the back of him as it stands.
Yeah, I think he's just struggling to get some heat into those tires. It's going to take those tires at least 3-4 solid good laps of running just to get some proper heat into them. I could be exaggerating when I say that. DRS has finally enabled this lap as Books is going to set the fastest lap of the 33.343. That was almost a tongue twister. Too many threes in that one.
Yeah, Books hanging on very nicely onto the back of Bald Guy, obviously on those mediums, and, well, he's doing very decently as of right now, staying within this train. DRS has been enabled, by the way, so DRS, the little rear wing flap will open up when he hits the DRS zone. That's a yellow flag. That's a Arabian Killer-Rack. He's off, and he's out. Virtual safety car.
Hey, restart?
Looks like he's gone off at turn
I'm kidding,
4.
I'm kidding.
What?
I was just said restart because it's only lap 3.
No. We're not having a repeat. We are not having that. But that is already the first retirement in this race. Arabian Killer-Rack, unfortunately, just getting a little bit crossed up in that S section, proving very tricky once again for these drivers, and he's been the first one to be claimed by the S curves. And although he is in the top 10, he won't be able to receive that point due to the fact he did not meet the 90% rule. Virtual safety car has already ended, and actually, one thing I want to... actually, at the end of that, Urban Growth has caught up a little bit to one underdog, and he might get DRS here if he stays there.
Oof. Just hit my head with my freaking headset. Nice.
I heard that.
It tickled.
I heard that. What was the...
So,
Alright, well...
this is completely irrelevant, but I got my haircut today, and usually after I get my haircut, my head starts to itch. So I was itching, and then, went to move my hand.
So you bonk your head.
Yeah. Basically.
Interesting. Interesting. You bonk your head to make it not itch. Got it.
Well, no, so I was... Yeah. We're not going to continue this conversation.
Let's just... Later. We'll move on from that. Yellow flag. That's the unknown. Spun around at turn 2. Has managed to keep it going, though.
Oh,
no
gross.
damage by the looks of it for the Mercedes.
Oh, boy. Ball guy around the outside of Dunlop. On the exit. Wow.
Oh, I wish I could have caught that. No.
I did.
Record it.
Okay.
But besides that is now Ball Guy up into second place. Urban Growth now down into third with that mistake. Books is all over the back of Urban Growth. So Books, watch out for Books later on, I just want to say. He's looking very good on those medium compounded tires, staying very nicely on these guys. And, well, he's just keeping it nice and calm. So we'll have to see what the Williams can do. One thing's for sure is that one underdog is not going to be so worried about that because he's already pulled nearly a 2-second gap to the guys behind thanks to Urban Growth's mistake. Oh, meanwhile, Books and Urban Growth going at it. Books could possibly have a dive down the inside, thinks about it, backs out of it, and he's going to stick behind, possibly use that DRS. Doesn't exactly get the best of exits, though. One underdog sets the fastest lap with the 132.7. DRS available from P2 all the way down to P9. Books could be looking for the move down into turn 1. He's going to go on the inside. Urban Growth trying to hang it around the outside, and he does hang it around the outside. Good defense there from the Red Bull. He manages to hold himself in third place still.
So, you know how you told me to record that? The move by Ball
Yes.
Guy? So I just went back just to make sure that the clip I had recorded it. And I hate to be that guy, but Unknown may or may not have reset the track.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
That's not what you want to hear.
As he spins again.
Spinning the unknown, he's spun. Dunlop, clearly proven tricky for him. And he loses even more time. Obviously, he's on those mediums, so that has rather ruined his strategy. But meanwhile, going back over for the battle for P3, Books having a look on the inside of Urban Growth. Urban Growth going a little bit wide there, and they're still going wheel to wheel. Actually, Books,
oh, look who's
as
here
Urban
now.
Growth goes a little bit wide. And yeah, James B is now caught to the back. They're now going wheel to wheel, down to 130R, and it looks like Books is going to get ahead. Yes, he does. So Books is now up into third place. Urban Growth from second, down to fourth. And now James B is looking to be in the mix as well.
Tier 3 drivers just messaged me, and he goes, "Got an hour before the race, and I'm napping. LOL."
Mood. Hold on a minute.
Urban
Growth has a DRS on Books.
On the
inside into turn
boy.
1. Ooh. Getting on the
That
curb
was
there.
bold.
But it was bold, but he gets ahead. It's a bit bold, but bold enough for him to not make any contact and take back that third place. That could be crucial for him later on. But he has to catch up to that 1 second between him and Ball Guy. And we'll have to see if he could possibly catch up before they even get to the pit straight.
Well, he's not going to do it like that, going wide at the exit of the first Degna.
Yeah, definitely not. It's a bit of a 4-car train right now from Urban Growth down to Slow and Steady, as Books is having a look around the outside, but it just doesn't have the grip around the outside to do so. Now James B is having a little bit of a look on the Williams, but it's just not going to be, he's not going to be able to make the move as of right now. So he's going to have to stay behind. Obviously, he doesn't need to, he wants to make this move, but he doesn't need to do it so aggressively due to the fact that he is fighting for this championship. 3 races left. And right now, his main championship rival, really, is one underdog, and he's pulling quite a gap to the guys behind.
Yeah, Ball Guy is slowly increasing that gap on Urban Growth to P3. His gap's 1.7 seconds, so Urban Growth will not have DRS to slap. Bucks, on the other hand, will. So will James B and Slow and Steady behind. Yep. Let's see what Bucks can do. He's gaining. I don't think he's close. I take the word. Yeah, he's not close enough.
Yeah, it's just having to stay behind. Obviously, the DRS is just now not powerful enough. He wishes that there was probably a DRS zone down in the 130R, but that would obviously deem too dangerous because that's an easily flat corner. And if you remember what happened when we put a DRS zone right before a flat corner, that was back in Britain in 2018, and Marcus Ericsson spun it.
Same thing at Monza too, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, no, that was in practice. He hit the brakes, and I think he just lost the rear of the car at Monza. Oh, Bucks is going to look for a move down the inside of the hairpin.
He got very, very close to the back of that Red Bull. There might have been a bit of contact there, but so far nothing doing. He could be having a look, though, still. Wheel to wheel, thinking about it. Is he going to send it into Spoon? Not quite. He goes a little bit wide, but so does Urban Growth. Nearly hits him again into Spoon. But they managed to keep it all together, and they're still staying one by one by one. But Books having the look once again into 130R. They're going wheel to wheel once again. Books on the inside into 130R, and he gets the move done. And now James B can have a look down into the chicane. He has the look, but it's just not enough. He'll have to stay behind. But what a move from Books there on the inside into 130R. That was committed. And actually, James B's in the pits.
Right, but
He's into the pits.
Books screwed up because now Urban Growth's going to get by him again with DRS.
He does. James B's on a set of softs, and he didn't have damage. I'm not sure what's happened there for the McLaren.
That's an early pit stop.
That is very early, especially for softs.
You mean medium?
I'm not sure what's going on there.
He was on the medium, so he could have at least gone to lap 18.
Comfortably. maybe he just didn't feel comfortable in those mediums, because at the start, he was losing quite a bit of time there. I mean, some of that is also losing time as Urban Growth as he goes wide at the second. Digging up Books once again having that look into the hairpin, but it's just not enough. The unknown is spun again by the looks of it, and that's cost him even more time. But Books is looking rather eager to get past this Red Bull. He's blinking right now. He's low on ERS. He is very eager to get past Urban Growth as he goes wide at Spoon, and he spins round! Books is spun at Spoon, going wide and hitting the curb, and that has absolutely cost him.
That's gut-wrenching.
That is definitely gut-wrenching. He doesn't have any damage though, so he's able to go again, but from 4th down to 7th. Just absolutely horrible. Not what he wanted, but we'll see if he can possibly continue on. Meanwhile, one of the Alfa Romeos is pitted, and it is slow and steady on the soft compound of tire. So it's a relatively normal pit stop, maybe a little bit early, but we'll have to see what tires go on. Medium compound of tire, unsurprisingly, and that should be an easy stop to the end.
Yeah, exactly. James B, he's gonna clear him.
Obviously, James B, he didn't have any damage when it came to him coming into the pits, so
look at the gap he has
pretty
now.
Easy. Thanks to those soft compound of tire, obviously. So with those softs, he's able to pull that gap, and maybe he might be a little bit more comfortable on those softs. We'll have to find out. If this is an undercut attempt, this is a very weird way to do an undercut, but you know what? Maybe he's Sergio Perez in disguise. We don't know.
Yeah, the world may never know.
Speaking of which, Sergio Perez is looking speedy around Baku. Just want to mention that. He's always been speedy around Baku, so, I mean...
Yeah, so I tried to watch FP1 and FP2 today. And I finally...
I couldn't.
Well, so I finally watched the Detroit Grand Prix for IndyCar and the Indy 500. The last 2 days. 3 days? 2 days. 2 days.
Something along the line.
I feel bad for Alexander Rossi. You know, being so close as Urban Growth gets a time penalty. Being within...
Someone is also looking close. I'm sorry to cut you off for a second, but Books is all over the back of Sprightly right here. Going into the chicane. He's going to dive down the inside into chicane near contact. He has to cut the corner a little bit round the outside, but Sprightly is just able to get the better traction of the two, and he stays ahead. The Books getting a little bit squirrely there, but he is going to have the DRS down into turn 1. Is he going to be close enough? Is he going to gain close enough? No, he's not. Sprightly's going to stay ahead, and Books will have to stay down. No, Sprightly gets a little bit wide there, but he still stays ahead as James B set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, James B currently flying on the 2-lap-old softs. It's weird, he's got
Speaking of softs, by the way, One Underdog and Urban Growth still have to pit in this race. Let's not forget, as they are on the soft compound of tire, but it's just a matter of when they pit and where they will come out in relation to James B. Let's pull up the leader interval. James B is 25 seconds behind One Underdog, so I think that is a clear cut of One Underdog comfortably getting ahead of that McLaren. And he might be just ahead of Sprightly and Books, if not within those two, really. So we'll have to see. And does he pit this lap is the question.
Seconds. He doesn't.
Doesn't, so he's going to stay on another lap. Maybe he wants to get ahead of these two. Speaking of which, they're going wheel to wheel once again. But Sprightly deciding to play a little bit smart, and Books is just simply let ahead. Sprightly down into P6, Books back up into P5. But obviously everyone has to pit. James B, slow and steady, do not have to pit, so we'll have to see what they can do.
Yeah, I think time lost is right around 20 seconds here, so... Actually, no. Is it 23? I think it's 23. Wow, Sprightly just gaining on Books. That's how powerful DRS is here. I forget.
That and also Books is obviously low on ERS, and I don't think Sprightly is low on ERS, so that would obviously play dividends.
No,
Meanwhile, yellow flag and ball goes round!
Oh, he's got no wing.
And he's virtual safety car. This could change the race because Urban Growth and One Underdog, they haven't pitted. They're on those softs. This could help them dramatically in this race.
Depending
But
on how
Ball
long
Guy,
this lasts, though.
very true, but Ball Guy losing his front wing, spinning off at Dunlop, not what he wanted, and he'll most likely pit. But the question is what tires? Obviously, he's on those mediums.
Let's also make it. Call Zach from last season.
Maybe?
Trust the process.
Trust the process. Going back over to the
Oh,
leader.
no, VRC
Oh,
is disabled.
virtual safety cars just ended. So theoretically, this
Underdog
could
is
still help him. It could still help him, to be fair. Quick Tongue has gotten past Ball Guy. Obviously, Ball Guy without having a
Urban
front
Growth
wing.
is in.
What is Urban Growth? Theoretically, this could help them
Oh, no,
still,
not
as
Unknown.
Unknown is retired.
Oh.
This could still help them, though, because obviously they have a little bit colder tires than what they would have anticipated. So we'll never know, as Quick Tongue is most likely going to take the lead here of the Japanese Grand Prix. Yes, he does, but Urban Growth is right there, as Ball Guy has sped in the pit lane. Not what he wanted. One underdog, though. He stayed ahead of Books, because he was within that zone of Books and Sprightly. He's ahead. So that still did help him. This is looking pretty nice right now for the Aston Martin. Not only in terms of the drivers, but also in terms of the constructors. Because if things were to end the way they were, Aston Martin will still grab the Constructors' Championship with one underdog alone for this race at least. So that would be great for them to wrap it up. But we'll see if he can just survive around 15 more laps of this race. And, well, he's looking pretty comfortable right now. Actually, wait a minute. James B's ahead of Urban Growth. He's looking for the move on Sprightly into Spoon. He's going to think about it. Not quite. And the Quick Tongue is actually spun. And one underdog, I think, checked up or something. Because he has now been passed by Books. But Quick Tongue is spun.
I didn't catch it. I'm going to clip it so that way I can see what happened because I'm... Okay.
I don't see any damage there on the Aston Martin, so he might have just been a little bit spooked. We'll have to see. Does he come into the pits? No. So, yeah, no, there's no... Doesn't look like there was any damage for the Aston Martin. He just probably got a little bit... Yeah, he probably just got a little bit scared there as he's going to look for the move into turn one. No, he doesn't. He backs out of it. He's going to have to stay behind. Quick Tongue staying out, though. Obviously, he's on those medium compounded tire.
Underdog, I just watched...
Oh, and Quick Tongue's around again. He's out.
What happened?
Crashed out at the exit of turn 2. Is that going to be a safety car? It might not be. I'm not so sure about that. I mean, going on board with Ball Guy as he goes over to that Alfa Romeo, I'm not so sure. He's obviously off the track, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm lost for words as of what has happened tonight. So,
You're not the only one.
I mean, I know it's tier 4, but usually tier 4 provides a good attendance, and yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely... Well, I mean, obviously this game isn't great. Let's all be real here.
Right, but
so, I mean, and obviously the connection issues of this game aren't great either. I mean, I literally get disconnected every time I start a stream.
Right, from a previous tier 4 racer to a tier 4 commentator.
No need to flex.
Yeah, not flexing or anything, but you know. Everybody's going to look for a move before turn 1. Wow, they're side by side. Sprightly's just going to give them the position. Yeah, Sprightly knows it's not his fight.
At the same time, one underdog took the lead.
Yeah. Sprightly knows it's not his fight. I think he's just trying to bring a clean race home. And just get some points for...
Obviously, as long as he finishes, he will grab another set of points, which I believe will be his second straight points finish. Just look over. If I can see his name. Actually, no, it'd be his fourth straight points finish. So as long as Sprightly keeps it up, he will grab another more points for Ferrari, which is exactly what they want in the fight for fourth in the constructors. Obviously, due to Alpine not being here, Books, by the way, grabbed a 3-second time penalty. That's not going to help him, and he still has to pit. Let's not forget. Books still has to pit. Same with Sprightly.
So, if a safety car were to come out now, if softs would make it to the end, because you're only doing roughly 10 racing laps on them.
Definitely. Then that will probably be a nice sight to the eyes of James B. Because James B, he's on those softs right now because he pitted onto them from the mediums. So he would want to see a safety car so he can go into a fresh set.
Right. But I'm questioning on why James B went in so early.
I don't know, and it was a lot earlier than mediums would have expected. Because obviously you see Books right now, he's on 14 laps on those mediums because he was on there since the start. That makes sense. So I'm not sure what James B's thought of process here is. So
yeah, it was lap 9.
I genuinely don't know.
It was his first lap.
No, I think it might have been... No, he came in on...
He came in lap 8 for him, but his first actual lap was lap 9. On the softs.
He pitted very early, though. Like, he pitted, like, lap 7.
No, it was lap 8. You just looked at it. Lap 8...
I mean, I'll look. I'll look later.
Lap 8 was a lap time of a 1 minute 51.9. And then lap 9...
What was the lap time of lap 7?
136.9.
Yeah, 136, because he came into the pits. He had to slow down.
Right, but he was still on the mediums.
The pit
for lap
entry
8.
is before the line.
He was still on the mediums on lap 8, according to race director.
Yeah, because he crossed the line on those mediums, and then he pitted onto a set of softs. You don't understand, man.
No, I really don't.
You genuinely...
My brain is just dead right now.
It always is. Let's be real here.
Yeah, but Bucks is in.
Meanwhile, I thought he nearly sped into the pit lane there.
I thought
but
he did
didn't.
too.
James B sets the fastest lap, by the way, on 7-lap-old softs. So he still definitely has the pace on those softs. But Books is now into the pits, and he's most likely, fresh set of soft compounded tire, unsurprisingly.
The pits, not trying to speed.
Better safe than sorry, as I say.
Yep.
And that should be another set of softs. Indeed it is.
So I watched the cool fact
He might come out ahead of his teammate here.
About those wheel guns that they use for F1. They have a sensor built into the wheel guns for the tire changers. And the light...
That'll let you know when it's tight?
Yeah, there's lights on the guns that flash green when the lug nut is tight. So I just... just thought that was a pretty cool...
I'm just gonna say it. I already knew it.
Right,
I
but I'm
already knew
just
that.
saying for the people watching that may or may not have known that, you know. Urban growth.
As urban,
time penalty.
as you're cutting out, you're cutting out quite a bit there. Yeah, urban growth with a 3-second time penalty. That I believe puts him up to 6 seconds actually. So urban growth with 6 seconds worth of penalties as it stands. That is definitely not going to help him in the latter stages, especially if there is a safety car. As of right now, I would say at least half the grid has a time penalty. Obviously, Ball Guy for speeding in the pits, both Urban Growth and Books for exceeding track limits. And if they do that anymore, they could put them at risk of losing a position. But Urban Growth, he has around a 1.92 second gap, technically, to Slow and Steady, and he is building that, so he will be able to stay in that position. We'll have to see if that will translate later on. So far, everyone just kind of evenly spread out as of right now. But James B is slowly closing in on one underdog ahead.
Imagine if James B tires at the end.
I'd be amazed. Now, obviously, what one underdog did last week, where he took 15 laps on a set of softs, that was already crazy enough, but like way over half the race on a set of softs from pretty much, lap 7, I would say. Like 20 laps on a set of softs. That'd be crazy. That would just truly be crazy. As he gets a little bit squirrely there through the spoon.
Yeah, I mean, I think I remember from this season at Portugal, I think I did 19 on the softs. I think.
If you are Sergio Perez, you can make tire last. That is the rule.
Yes. And then,
That's pretty much the rule is. Or Albon. Yeah, let's not take out Albon. Let's not forget 57 laps at Australia on hards, and he pitted on the last lap.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like,
it's within the regulations, so I mean, fair enough.
Right, but at Portugal, I literally did 19 laps, right? I spun lap 20, came in for mediums, got it up to turn 4, and then it was just like, someone crashes, and then it says safety car. I'm like, okay.
One more lap, man. One more lap, and that would have been enough.
Right, but I was on softs. I would have had to come in for softs again.
Pretty much around that area, yeah, to be fair. Yeah. As James B goes a little bit wide there at the first Degna, possibly picking up exceeding track limits.
Yeah.
Everyone's just kind of spread out.
We're just kind of chilling.
Interesting.
Who's online?
Everyone's just kind of chilling.
Who's online that we can invite some more coming?
I don't know. I don't know.
We did that last season. I think it was you, me, and Catch at Coda.
Yeah, I do remember that. I very much remember that. So, if we were to end the race right here, right now, let's say. So, as of right now, if the race were to end in this way, James B will pull 19 points on Mixer, but he will lose...
No, 18.
6 points. Didn't he have the fastest lap?
Book says the fastest lap. Book says fastest lap.
Oh, he did. I completely missed that. Well, yeah, so he would pull 18 points from Mixer, which will put the gap between him and Mixer to 23. One underdog, though, taking the win. He would jump ahead of his teammate, and he's 7 points. He would gain 7 points on James B. So I think, yeah, one underdog would be second in the championship, and James B will have the lead, if my math is correct, by 6 points?
6, 7, let's go with it.
Yeah, I believe 6 points will be the way, because he's 12 behind James B as of right now. So, with that in mind, if he's gaining 7 points...
18.
5. That'd be 5. So, the gap between James B and the next driver would not change, because one underdog would be grabbing the win. Interesting. So, James B gains, but he doesn't at the same time, theoretically.
I tell you, who's closing the gap right now is Books.
Oh yeah, he is. He's closing onto the back of Slow and Steady as it stands. Gap between them 1.3. Obviously, Books on those soft compounded tires is looking absolutely rapid as it stands. And while he can easily go to the end on those soft compounded tires, but is he going to be close enough to have DRS around here? No, he will not, as he's passing the detection point right now. So he will not have the DRS. But he's got a lot more grip in comparison to the car in front of him.
Yeah, he was. Excuse me.
Was that a yawn or something?
Sorry. Yes, it was. I literally
fair enough.
Mid-sentence yawns. Hate it.
I am proud to say I have never had that.
I don't know why, but it's like anytime I come in a race, even as a catcher, like mid-sentence or like before I start saying a sentence, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, that seems about accurate. As Books is now really on the back of Slow and Steady as it stands. And by the way, James B has fallen back from one underdog by over a second now. Well, actually, no, he's just caught up quite a bit of time now. So maybe he made a mistake, but then one underdog made a mistake. I don't know, but there's something going on there.
Starting to give out at the moment. This gap's back up to 3 seconds.
I mean, obviously, he's done 11 laps on those soft compounded tire. That's usually the right amount of laps that you would do. By the way, for those that don't know, I know you don't know this. Someone in Realistic yesterday, I can name specifically who. It was the championship winner of last season here in Tier 4. He took 22 laps on those on a set of softs before he got a rear puncture. So theoretically, you could take 22 laps on the set of softs. As Books has gotten past Slow and Steady's in the pits. So that's very interesting. He could have gone to the end here, but he's deciding not to. Go on to a set of softs. Potentially a fastest lap attempt? I'll have to find out. The time you had to be... Oh, as my co-com has left. Uh-oh. Hello. What has gone on here? I'll try and get him back in. I'm not sure what's going on there. He's still in the party with me. So, I don't know. Well, that would explain why you left. But I invited you back, so should be able to get back in. So anyways, with that, Slow and Steady is now on a fresh set of softs. He's down one position now, because he obviously pitted. He lost that position to Bald Guy. Though, the biggest mover out of this entire race has been James B. Obviously, James B, due to some issues with many other drivers and going onto a set of softs from near the beginning, he's made up 3 positions. So, I would say it's a solid one from the championship leader as of right now. The biggest loser right now that is currently racing still is Bald Guy, down 2 positions, but he's still grabbing a top 5 finish. Arabian Killarak, unfortunately, DNFing from this race. He's down 2 positions as well. The Unknown, up 1, DNF, but Quick Tongue down 1, P8. As those are our 3 retirements, as we're on lap 22 of 27. So, there's still quite a bit of time for possibly someone to make a mistake or some last-minute pit stops, maybe from James B. We'll have to see. But so far, everyone's just kind of evenly spread out. As long as everyone keeps it consistent, this might be what we're looking at for the podium, which is one underdog, James B, and Urban Growth. Though, Books is slowly gaining on Urban Growth. Can I just take a nap? I would like to take a nap. This is a bit of a boring one, but like, can you blame me? This is a very nice, calm, quiet nap. It's just like, let me know when the race is on the final lap. Like, just hear me snoring as I take off my headset. Just I'll just fall asleep to a V10 roaring in my ears. You're cutting out quite a bit again. Just thought I'd let you know. By the way, James B is losing quite a bit of time to one underdog now. The gap between them is now 4 seconds. But he's still pulling a little bit on Urban Growth behind. So that's a bit of an interesting story there. So the softs definitely are starting to go off as it stands. And one underdog, seeing this, he's just like, yeah, you guys can go and do your thing, because he's looking very, very comfortable in this race. He's pretty much dominated this entire race from start to finish. Has nearly led every single lap. Obviously, he's only missed like 1 or 2 laps of leading this race, but it has been a very, very comfortable race for the Aston Martin. Same with James B ever since he pitted. So the top 2 having a quiet and nice race, but I'm pretty sure it's what they would have wanted, especially one underdog. James B possibly wanting to get back up into that first place position, because he hasn't won since, if I'm correct on this, he hasn't won since Belgium, and he'll want to grab that top step, but right now he'll grab his 5th second place of the season. Pretty much. that is why he is the championship leader. Keep it consistent, and you are there. And that's exactly what Janesby has done, despite missing 2 races, one in Britain and one in Netherlands. So, you know, it's been a very good season for Janesby, obviously missing out on the title last season here in Tier 4, but he has bounced back, and oh boy, has it been very, very pleasant to see. And well, after this race, there'll be 2 races left. Can he clinch it, or will other people possibly try and catch him? We'll have to see. As of right now, he will still be the championship leader. Granted, nothing else happens in this race, which is looking like that's going to be the case. Exactly. Or, well, yeah, 4 laps. Well, 3 and a third. 3 and a third, yeah, pretty much. But yeah, this is still... It may not be the most exciting of Japanese Grand Prix, but it still provides a bit of a story because, for those that do not know, last season here in Tier 4, Aston Martin had a very, very bad season where at the end of their season, they only grabbed 7 points to their name. They were the only team to grab single digits, whereas everyone else was on triple digits. So Aston Martin were very much at the back in terms of the team's championship, but needless to say, they have turned it around dramatically. Obviously, with the driver lineup completely changing, Mixer and One Underdog both proving that they could very much be at the front in every single race. Obviously, Mixer grabbing 2 wins, One Underdog also grabbing 2 wins, and let's not mention that One Underdog, as of late, has been providing quite a bit of pace, because the past 2 weekends he's grabbed 2nd and 1st respectively for the Aston Martin, so he has been there. As I said before, he's become kind of a literal underdog in this championship, because he was a bit far behind, but he is very much still in this mix. We'll see if Mixer and Titan next week can possibly try and bounce back at the US Grand Prix at COTA, which is going to be very exciting. I always love COTA. I've been there twice in real life, and it's just as exciting as it looks. So, we'll have to see how Tier 4 will battle it out next week. But right now, they just have to focus on getting to the end here. 2 laps remaining for these drivers. One Underdog now leading by 6.2. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure they said that. I'm pretty sure they said that they did repave it. So, hopefully that is the case, and we'll have to wait and see. I'm not sure. I know IndyCar has, but I'm not sure about NASCAR. They have? Okay. Oh, okay. Ah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, pretty early on. I know for a fact that IndyCar has raced at COTA. I definitely know that. I don't know. I genuinely do not know. I mean, consider the fact that 1, it's a bigger grid. 2, the cars are almost equal. I'd say there are still some that are like maybe a little bit quicker, but that's probably due to setups and stuff like that. But either way, like, there's a bunch of cars in that championship, so it's just there's entertainment everywhere. And due to the fact that their downforce isn't as much as F1, I think that's why, because they're obviously able to follow closely. Obviously, in F1 nowadays, especially for 2022, the aero rigs have changed. And, well, now they can follow closely, and that has been proven to be the case. So they have worked. But yeah, IndyCar has been pretty much following that logic ever since they started. And they have some pretty historic races, needless to say. We're on the final lap, by the way. Feels like we've been here for ages. I don't know. I genuinely do not know. We'll have to see. But, yeah, it's not been the best of seasons for them. But we'll have to see as it goes on. Aston Martin may not look good in real life, but they definitely look good here in Tier 4 tonight. One underdog going through the third sector. Once again, like it was last week, it has been a dominant race for the Aston Martin from pole, and he's going to come around the final corner to take victory here at the Japanese Grand Prix. One underdog wins the Japanese Grand Prix by just over 10 seconds from James B. And with that, one underdog, Tiora Mixer, and Aston Martin are your Constructors Champions for Tier 4. It has not been the best of times last season, but this season they've come home roaring, and it's been electric. James B will finish P2. Urban Growth, once again, another podium for the Red Bull. It's his third podium this season. Books will come home to grab P4. Bald Guy will finish at P5, though he has that 5-second time penalty, and that is actually going to hurt him. And Slow and Steady cross the line, so Slow and Steady will grab P5. Bald Guy down to P6. Sprightly, maybe quite a ways away from the back of the pack, but he will come home to take P7 in this race. But one underdog and Aston Martin, your Constructors Champions for Tier 4. As you've left the session again. James B will grab Driver of the Day, and I would have to agree with that, taking those softs quite a distance, starting 5th, making his way up to 2nd, and crucially keeping his championship lead the same. But there's a new contender in the ring with 2 races left, and it's one underdog. He wins the Japanese Grand Prix, his 3rd win of the season. He grabs the most wins out of any driver this season. James B will have to settle for a 5th second place here tonight. Irma Growth, 3rd place, once again for the Red Bull, but unfortunately is out of championship contention. With that, yes, do so. I will do so. Zerman Growth is left. Oh, I have a timer. Hold up. Hello? What? I can't see. Hello? I'm seeing an ending thing on the top of my screen. I'm not sure what's going on. Am I loading into the lobby? Oh, I am loading. Oh, okay. Well, thanks. Hopefully they'll get us to join. Obviously, Urban Growth in 3rd, James B in 2nd place, and one underdog grabbing his 3rd win of the season, his 2nd in a row, as we just wait for the drivers to join us here in the booth. Might be waiting a while, though. Okay, there we go. There's James B for Urban Growth. If he's all 9, is the question. He is? Okay. Fair enough. We kind of have to hurry this up, though, because tier 3 is about to start in just over 20 minutes time. Be sure to tune into that, by the way. Just over 20 minutes until Tier 3. And that could be a very exciting one here at the Japanese Grand Prix. But we had to get through the interviews. We had to get through quickly.
Yeah, g'day, how you going? I was pretty confident on the mediums to start the race and whatnot, but I was kind of forced to pit early because I was stuck behind. I think it was Books and Urban Grove who were just nearly killing each other and holding me up. So I thought I'd try and undercut them, which I did. But then I was kind of in limbo with being on the softs for so long. I was kind of hoping for a late safety car of some sort, but didn't come. So yeah, there we go. That's all. Hats off to one underdog though. Good win again. And I hope for a good result. I'm really bad at that track, so we'll see how we go. Yeah.
I do not. So congratulations on your P2, your 5th second place in a row. It feels a bit weird saying that, but you're consistent to be there. So, I mean, fair enough.
Thanks,
But Irma Growth, unfortunately, not able to join us. But obviously, he had a pretty solid race for himself, and he managed to grab his 3rd podium of the season. But we now shall move on to one underdog once again. Another dominant performance in the Aston Martin, but instead of just a dominant performance in the race, you managed to grab your first pole position of the season, and obviously you converted that very nicely indeed, grabbing your 3rd win. You now have the most wins out of any driver this season, and with this result, you, Mixer, and Aston Martin grab the Constructors' Championship for Tier 4. What are your thoughts about that?
It's a great thing to have, but now it's just focusing. It's just a team game, so we just showed up, be consistent, score as many points as we can.
Yeah, that will definitely be the goal for you. Obviously, you have been on quite a roll as of recently, and with this result, you are just 5 points off of James B in the Drivers' Championships. Next week, we go over to Coda. James B saying he's not entirely had the best of times around this track. Do you think that you will have a good time, or do you think it'll be around the same as James B?
To me, it depends on, because it is a tough track. It can get a lot of penalties on this track, easy. And it all depends on the weather too, because USA, it depends on weather. It can happen anytime.
Yeah, it definitely can. It definitely gets very interesting there in Austin, Texas. But we'll just have to wait and see in just a week's time. But, Redeemer, do you have any questions for one underdog?
No, I have no pressure. It's just, I'm just playing this game for fun. If I get the championship, I get it. It just depends. But you got 3 other good races, but we should have a good battle for the last 2 races. That's all I look for, is having good racing.
I respect that. I 100% respect that, and I'm pretty sure Redeemer will agree. Yeah, so... Yeah, be sure to tune into that for Tier 3. That's going to be it for Tier 4. And although it may not have been exciting, we still managed to see a championship wrapped up with Aston Martin grabbing the Constructors' Championship, one underdog, and TOR Mixer clearly being the force in not only the teams, but also the Drivers' Championship. And they're hoping to continue that form. That is everything for Tier 4, but be sure to tune in just over 15 minutes time for Tier 3. And then tomorrow, we've also got Tier 2 and Tier 1 as they're going to rip around Suzuka. And it could be very, very entertaining, so be sure to tune into that. And then next week, we go over to the U.S. Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas, starting with Realistic on Thursday. And then, 1 week from now, U.S. Tier 4. 2 rounds left. Only a handful of drivers left in contention for the Drivers' Championship. Who is it going to come down to? be sure to tune in next week. But from Redeemer and I, that's everything. Good day, good night, see you. 15 minutes time for Tier